this is just a rush of blood. 17 years old, his mistakes are going to happen, but these are not the mistakes that he can be making right now.
Welcome to Instant Replay for MLS Matchday 35. I'm your host, Andrew Wiebe, and as always, we're taking a closer look at the most controversial refereeing decisions in Major League Soccer. We start on Sunday night soccer in Austin, Seattle. Austin tied 1-1 going into second half stoppage time, and this Verde team just get it done in these moments lately. Once again, it's CJ Fodre across the goal with the header to Mirto Uzuni. That's the game winner, folks. Only, hold on, was Uzuni offside? Live, the flag stays down from the assistant referee, who is in good position to judge and make the call down the line. Now, given it's a goal in the field, let's establish what we're looking for here, and that is clear and obvious evidence that Mirto Uzuni is offside. As we attempt to judge depth in regards to the offside position, let's all give thanks for the 6-yard box. We have a great reference point there that we know is perfectly straight. Using the 6, we can say that CJ Fodre's body is clearly inside the 6 and he's leaning and stretching forward to head the ball. That is establishing the point of contact for the pass. And that point, to my eye, is farther forward than all recovering defenders. So the ball is the furthest thing forward in regards to the defenders, but is it farther forward than Uzuni? The body part we need to zone in on there is Uzuni's left foot, which is planted and his furthest body part forward. Now, the first angle down the 18, you could never say conclusively that Uzuni is offside. The second, from above and behind the goal, well, that one sparks a little bit of doubt in your head. However, what that angle doesn't show very well is Fodre's body position, because the body part we see planted on that angle and used as a natural reference point, his foot, is actually the body part farthest from the pass point of contact as he plans to jump and lean forward. All of this to say, I thought Taylor Twellman got this one spot on. Hints of a possible offside, but no clear and obvious error on tape here. Good goal, and I would never expect a review to be initiated from Daniel Radford, the VAR. How about a goal where the flag did go up live? This is just gorgeous play from FC Cincinnati, but when you get the view down the line, you can see Evander has just drifted into an offside position. Great call by the assistant referee. Let's quickly play the Was There Contact game. This time we're going to San Jose, St. Louis. Let's dig in. The way the ball rolls here tells me that Chicho gets a touch on the ball, but Celso Pompeo of St. Louis does not. But does Pompeo's kick actually contact Arango's foot? Arango is saying, yeah, he's going down. Kalen Carr on the call says what we're all thinking. It's not a ton of contact. In fact, my brain says it's even possible there might not be any contact. Maybe Arango is embellishing. Perhaps Pompeo is right. He didn't touch him. But to initiate a review and reverse this call in the field, we need clear and obvious evidence that contact did not occur and it was not a foul. And my word choice doth give me away. Possible, might, maybe, perhaps. Deep down, I still think it's more likely Pompeo just barely clips Arango than the opposite. I'm good with the call on the field, and for obvious reasons, there is not going to be any review initiated by the VAR, Michael Radchuk. Another game, let's play Did It Cross the Goal Line in this San Jose St. Louis game. San Jose fans might have wanted it, but Saturday was just Brendan McSorley's night, and that man did not just score twice, he clearly keeps this one from going over the line. Well done to the crew on this one. These are really tough calls live. This is not a tough call in the Philly-New England game, 75 minutes in. Peyton Miller, the 17-year-old who just got called up to the U.S. U20 World Cup team, got a lesson in composure. The Union want to speed you up. They want to take you out of your comfort zone and use physicality to their advantage. Miller is a top talent, but he's still just 17 and he loses the plot here. You throw a ball at an opponent intentionally and hit him, you're asking for a violent conduct red card. Miller asked, and Lorenzo Hernandez, the referee, had no choice but to answer in the affirmative. You're out of here. How about another possible violent conduct red card? This one from the LAFC RSL game, about 40 minutes in. The original play happens off camera, but we get this replay of Sergi Palencia of LAFC coming together with Alexander Catranis of RSL, and that looks really bad. But it is a tough one for VAR Ismail Elfath. Why? This must reach the threshold of clear and obvious violent conduct to be reviewed by the referee. So let's take a closer look at the law to see what Elfath was weighing as he performed the check. The law reads, you are committing violent conduct if you, quote, deliberately strike an opponent or another person in the head or face with the hand or arm. If you do so, you are guilty of violent conduct unless the force used was negligible. Now, clearly there is contact to the head and the force was not negligible. We can all see that. So that leaves two things here. First, was it clearly and obviously deliberate? I think Palencia absolutely knows what he's doing, getting the arm that high, but it's also plausible that he's preparing himself for the contact that Contreras is also initiating with his body. Second, is it a, quote, strike? And usually for that, I would be looking for some sort of cocking action, a clear targeting by the player in question, and then force through the opposing player. Is it clear this is a strike and not a reaction to the incoming contact we talked about early? Is it clear it's a strike and not more of a forearm to brace? For me, I understand why LFAS said it is not clear and obvious that it's deliberate or a strike. Therefore, he's not going to recommend the review to referee Alexis de Silva. I get it. We don't want the game re-refereed. However, all technical VAR considerations aside, just on the merits of this play and what I would like to see called on the field, I want to see a red card on this one. To me, this is deliberate by Palencia in my judgment. He knows what he's doing going that high as he comes into the challenge off the ball. Look at the little glance at Contreras. And the way he leads with the elbow into the head, for me, qualifies as a strike. And his excessive force and endangering the opponent because of the way that that strike has force through the head of Contreras. I would rather land on the side of getting this sort of thing out of the game, the blow to the head, rather than be too professorial about the details or any loopholes in the law. For me, I would have liked to see red called on the field. To Minnesota-Chicago we go. Brian Dunseth nails the considerations in geometry on this offside call that ruled out a Loons goal from Mamadou Dieng. You've got to use your reference points, as we talked about earlier, and in this case, that's the line in the grass. Using that and the position of the bodies down said line, it is clear Dieng is offside. Good call by the AR. And since we're giving ARs their flowers, it's a hard job after all. Here we are in Atlanta, San Diego, handing out another bouquet. Good spot live on a play that gets stretched out quickly. Almiron is offside, and the play is called as such. Bravo. A couple more from this game. Remember that penalty call against St. Louis a little while back? You know, the one that got the St. Louis supporters really riled up. Well, we've got another clip from behind, and here we go again. Jamal Tiara is making the VAR signal the moment he goes down, but it never gets to that point. No call on the field, no review, no penalty. If there was an angle here that conclusively showed contact or the impact of contact on Tiara, then maybe I could see a review happening and a penalty called. But I don't think we have that. I'm good with no penalty here, and yes, my views can evolve, folks. And yes, Tiara doesn't stop putting San Diego under pressure, and he gets his penalty drawn in the end. CJ Dos Santos thinks he can win this ball. No, he can't. Clear foul, and to the spot, Atlanta go. All right, let's shout out a video assistant referee before we get on out of here. Well done to Eunice Marcaccia on the New York City-Charlotte match. This handball offense by Idan Toklamati isn't spotted live by Tim Ford, but when you watch it back, you can see the arm extended away from the body and the movement of that arm up and into the path of what is a shot on goal to deflect it out. That is in a natural position and a clear penalty. Ford goes to the monitor and calls it as such. Big shout out to all of you who watch and love instant replay. I appreciate you. I love meeting you when I'm around the country on Sunday Night Soccer. I had a guy come up to me this week and say one phrase: if you see something, say something. You know what that means. Get in my mentions every single weekend and let me know what we should review on this show. That's it for Matchday 35. Big thanks to my producers, Rich Hernandez and Aldo Medina, and my editor on this one, Phil Levanco, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm Andrew Wiebe. We'll see you next time.